Land, sea, and sky, all are interconnected. So are all living creatures on Earth. Like the ripples that form on water when a still pond is disturbed, our actions can have far-reaching impacts on ecosystems and species near and far, including our coasts and the ocean beyond. Coastal ecosystems that lie at the boundary of land and sea are critical to nature and people. What makes conserving coastal ecosystems so important? Coastal wetlands such as salt marshes and mangrove forests act as sponges, absorbing rainwater and runoff. So, they prevent floods and erosion while also filtering and purifying water of excess nutrients, sediments, and pollutants before it reaches the sea. Wetlands, seagrass beds, and coral reefs serves as feeding grounds and nurseries for various animals, including fish and shrimp that people rely on for food and livelihood. They protect shorelines from the impacts of erosion and storm surges, keeping people safe. They also help fight climate change as they capture carbon dioxide from the air. And all these habitats make beautiful places to visit, thus generating tourism that creates jobs. Despite their importance, coastal and nearshore marine ecosystems are in danger from the ripple effects of human activities. Let's understand some of these effects. Development is a major threat to coastal and marine ecosystems. The construction of ports and harbours, the expansion of coastal cities, and the building of coastal roads and bridges cover seabeds with concrete, destroying coral colonies and seaweed forests, and harming the animals that live there. The mining of sand, corals, and other materials from beaches and seabeds destroy these coastal habitats. Natural barriers to the sea, such as mangrove forests, are cut down. Coastal wetlands are cleared of vegetation, drained of water, and filled to create land for industries, housing, and agriculture. All these activities destroy precious coastal and marine habitats. How do coastal development activities affect coastal and marine ecosystems? Development activities and agriculture in coastal zones inevitably lead to pollution too. Solid waste, chemicals, oil and fuel from ports, and pesticides and fertilizers from farms all contaminate coastal environments and eventually reach the ocean. Development also causes changes in the coastline and natural processes. For example, the construction of roads and buildings means there is less soil available to soak in rainwater or filter it. This leads to more frequent flooding and more polluted runoff reaching the sea. Without wetlands to filter out sediments, more sediments reach the sea, altering marine environments. So, development activities affect the natural movement of water, sediments, and nutrients from land to sea. And these changes impact coastal and marine biodiversity. Did you know that your choice of seafood and how it is sourced can affect coastal and marine biodiversity? An important issue is overfishing, the catching of fish faster than they breed to naturally rebuild their populations. Without enough mature fish of popular species left in the water to reproduce, their numbers drop. This makes a difference to the seafood on your plate and the livelihoods of the people who provided it. But ultimately, it disturbs the marine food web, affecting the variety of fish available and the biodiversity of the ecosystem as a whole. A side effect of using fishing nets is bycatch. Bycatch refers to marine animals such as turtles, dolphins, and other marine species and seabirds that are caught by accident in fishing nets, often ending up dead and discarded. Isn't that a waste? Trawling is a fishing practice where a fishing net is pulled behind a fishing boat scooping up fish in the process. But the net captures everything in its path, including bycatch. Trawling along the seabed damages coral reefs and underwater habitats. Not all our seafood consists of wild fish. Aquaculture or seafood farming supplies more than 50% of our seafood. Fish are raised in netted areas in the sea. But food and waste used here pollute the surrounding waters, and if farmed fish escape and mix with wild fish, they may affect the ocean's biodiversity. Shrimp farming is a particular threat to mangrove habitats, as mangrove trees are cleared to build ponds. The chemicals used in shrimp farming pollute the environment so badly that the ponds are eventually left to dry up and new areas are cleared for new ponds. Not all human impacts on coastal and marine ecosystems have to be direct. Our burning of fossil fuels and the resulting release of carbon dioxide have ripple effects too. Did you know that the ocean absorbs around 25% of the carbon dioxide released each year by human activities? Carbon dioxide dissolves in seawater and forms carbonic acid, which turns seawater acidic. This phenomenon is called ocean acidification. This acidification reduces the ability of corals, oysters, mussels, and plankton to build their calcium carbonate shells and skeletons. It can even weaken and dissolve these structures. Did you know that global warming affects the oceans too? Let's see how. Global warming is caused by high levels of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Oceans absorb around 90% of the heat that we are responsible for adding to the atmosphere. So global warming causes ocean warming. And that's bad news for many species. Warmer ocean waters change the distribution of plankton, fish, and other marine species. This affects the delicate interconnections that link different species. Marine heat waves force corals to push out the symbiotic algae that gives them their colors. Such corals turn white, a phenomenon called coral bleaching. Without the algae to provide the corals with nutrients, bleached corals eventually die. 1/3 of Australia's beautiful Great Barrier Reef has already undergone bleaching. Despite such damage, change is possible. We can stop the destruction of our coasts and oceans, and we can restore them to healthy ecosystems. Firstly, governments and industries need to make big changes that allow economies to thrive and people to profit in sustainable ways. Some impactful changes are regulating coastal development, preventing pollution, designating marine protected areas, adopting sustainable fishing practices, modifying fishing gear to prevent bycatch, and switching to renewable energy sources instead of fossil fuels. How can we individually help reduce our impact on coastal and marine ecosystems? Each of us can be pro-ocean too. We can restore ocean biodiversity by being conscious consumers, such as by choosing sustainably sourced seafood, buying different varieties, avoiding fish during their breeding seasons, and opting for local varieties instead of imported ones. We can fight ocean warming and acidification by living more sustainably. For example, we can help reduce carbon dioxide emissions by using less electricity, using public transport, buying only what we need, and recycling more. Each of us influence change. We can spread the word about our amazing coastal and ocean ecosystems and their importance. We can also write to decision makers and corporations, asking them to take steps, concrete action, to protect and restore these precious habitats. Our voices can be powerful tools. Let's put them to use and stand up for our blue planet.